Time for a bit more argy-bargy in Anglesey. This week it's two super minis sizing up for another of our world-famous shootouts. This is the Ford Fiesta ST, and this, the Mitsubishi Colt CZT. With two fat slug trails over its body, big brassy wheels and hip-hugging seats, the ST positively shouts its intentions. And it's not just bluster, because Ford has managed to cram a 150 horsepower 2-litre Mondeo motor under its pert little bonnet. It costs £13,595, which is £600 more than our second contender, the CZT. The Colt might look more at home by the post office on pension day, but this little car's had a new lease of life. The 1.5-litre motor's been turbocharged, so produces just 3 horsepower less than the Ford. It's also slightly lighter. So, Plain Jane versus Flash Harry.
150 horsepower in a little Fiesta. The steering's not quite as instant responsive as I was hoping. Wants a bit more feed, wants a bit more weight in it, really, to give a feedback from the little front wheels scrambling for grip. Now come to our little lift off, catch the slide, and power out corner. Very responsive. Just the brakes, I wanted a sharper pedal. It stops all right, but the pedal goes too deep. I try to heel and toe, and I can't because my foot's gone below the accelerator. Right, let's calm down. Let's try and get something neat and tidy. 4th gear for this first long right-hander. What about 70, 80 miles an hour? Sticking to 3rd, hardly needing to brake. As we turn uphill. Tricky over the top here. Snick it to 2nd, let the engine rev and sing. Round to just over 7,000 revs. Down to the hairpin, only needing 3rd gear. Brake as late as I dare. Now, don't go too silly through here. Lift, little touch of oversteer, that's nice.
It crosses the line in 55.39 seconds.
So to the Mitsubishi Colt CZT. So this is a 1.5-litre engine, a little turbo. It feels softer, understeers a bit more. But the gear change, the brakes are up to the Ford. The thing that's going to stop it slightly is the fact that we can't switch the traction control off. So if the car gets a bit out of shape, it's going to be held back by the computers, which may or may not handicap it. Nothing like as edgy as the Ford. We don't get that oversteer, the lift-off oversteer, which of course is a nice aspect in the Ford that helps the car complete the turn. It's a good little car. But is it good enough? Let's concentrate on that fast lap.
The turbo Colt is half a second down at the radar complex and loses another 1/10 by the hairpin, crossing the finishing line 1.3 seconds behind the Fiesta.
Which, I have to say, was a bit disappointing. I don't know what it is with Mitsubishi. They have all these Evo 8s, the Evo 9 now. They do the World Rally Championship, and yet their road-going saloons are all a bit dull and tame. I mean, I was really hoping to get the Evo hatch. Instead, I just got little Colts.
Yeah, you see, I don't actually get that, because if you look at... I mean, we've got the specs here, and they've got nearly identical 0 to 60 times. Near identical, both 150 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
You know, nearly the same weight. In fact, the Colt's a bit lighter and it's got more torque. So how can it get beaten by the Fiesta? That doesn't make sense.
I think it comes down to handling, because on there the Fiesta looked rock solid, really nice to chuck in.
Yeah.
Whereas the Mitsubishi was a bit roly-poly, yeah.
The Colt was just rolly and soft, and of course you couldn't completely turn the traction control off, so it kept on cutting in a bit in the middle of the corner.
No.
I hate that when they do that.
I know, I wanted an Evo hatch.
It did look like that. Anyway, how does the time compare on the Tiff-Pooter?
On my great list, the great TIFF list, which at the moment on page 1 starts with the Mosler, and on the bottom there the Mini Cooper S at 56.37. So I've already put Mitsubishi in again because it saves a little bit of time.
Wow.
And that time, what was it, Vix? What did I do with it?
56.69.
56. It might electrocute you.
0.69. And when we stick that in, it goes Whoa, down below, right at 22nd place, just above a Ford sport car, and just behind by 0.02 of a second, a great big Porsche KNS.
Funny enough, it's beaten by that Citroen look, C2.
Yeah,
which is the same class.
G2. Yeah.
So the C2's still getting it on.
Now if I enter the Ford, the time was, remind me, Vix?
55.39.
0.39.
I tell you what, that's not bad.
No.
That, it comes 16th overall. That pushes the Mitsubishi right down to 23rd. And amazingly, look, it beats that great big MG V8, the rear-wheel drive car, by a fifth of a second.
What's that above it there?
Oh, blimey, yes, right. It's right behind a Porsche Boxster 2.7.
That's pretty impressive. Tippy, the Ford press pack says that the Fiesta, it protects the novice and rewards the enthusiast. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think it does reward it doing that sort of lap time. But you know, there are little bits. The steering was a bit soft and so were the brakes, so it could be sharper still for the real race. But yeah, I get what they mean. And I've just noticed it's also just behind the great Ford Focus RS by 0.8 of a second. So that's an impressive little car.